Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world. So, in this video, I'm just going to talk about this article that I thought you might find interesting. And this concerns um, two, let's say, infamous women who are actually in prison, in the same prison. And according to this article in the Daily Mail, they have made friends. Now, the prison that they're in, let's just have a look at the prison that they're in. So it's, let's have a look. It's His Majesty's Prison, Bronzefield. I believe it is a women's only prison. It's got a website. I didn't realise that prisons would have websites in this way. This prison is managed by Sodexo. Sodexo. So does that mean it's private? You know, it's quite strange. When I looked it up and this came up, I was sort of quite surprised. Our aim is to change things for the better. In Sodexo Justice, we aim to change lives for the better by operating safe, decent and secure prisons. We rehabilitate those in our care and provide purposeful activity, employment, education and rehabilitation services. We support offenders to lead law-abiding lives in their community on release. At HMP Bronzefield, we run the full prison operations, including prison custody officers, integrated facilities management, and we provide rehabilitation services, resettlement programs, offender behaviour programs, education and skills development, vocational training, workshops, industries. We also have a separate mother and baby unit, which each accommodate 12 mothers and 13 babies. We work in partnership with many different organisations and charities to improve the outcomes for those in our care. Our partners share our vision and help us achieve our aim to change lives for the better. Our prison population demographic is complex and diverse, but our regime offer caters for everyone, and outcomes for women are good in all areas. So you can see it's quite, what's the word? I know I've got a male director, but anyway, never mind. Let's see, find out more about the history and facilities of Bronzefield Prison. Now, I've never really thought much about prisons before. Are some owned privately and others owned by the government? You can maybe, in another video, I'm not making a long video today, but yeah, you can go onto the Ministry of Justice website and see details of all the prisons in the UK. So this is a purpose-built facility for women that was opened in 2004, marking a step change in prison facilities for women in the UK. Each wing has a server unit for women to collect their food where they can choose to eat together on the wing or take it back to their cells. Telephones in each room, which is integral in helping women to maintain their family ties. 17-bed healthcare facility, a care and separation unit, and a mother and baby unit, etc. And it goes into the first nights in custody. I mean, I would definitely look at this in more depth. There's a lot of depth to look at this. Let me just have a look. Now, this video that I'm making at this moment, this is going to be too long, but I think if you're interested, I think tonight maybe, I may do a live with more details. Go, watch this whole video so we can discuss it. Yeah, it's very interesting, isn't it? Now, so what's the reason that I'm doing this video is it's about these two ladies. These two ladies, Lucy Letby and Batul, Beinash Batul, they are in this prison. And according to the Daily Mail, and again, don't shoot the messenger, I'm just reading you an article that I think you might find interesting. These two ladies have become friends. So let's have a look at the article. Now, as far as Lucy is concerned, I know people have very deep feelings about Lucy. Some people think she's innocent, but, we have to remember she was found guilty. She was found guilty. So until an appeal is successful, she is guilty. That's what she's been found guilty. So, but people have their opinions. People believe because these things have come out about new medical evidence. But I think we have to remember she wasn't only found guilty on the medical evidence. I mean, it needs a deep dive for me to go into it properly. Apart from the fact I find it upsetting talking about babies dying. YouTube doesn't like it. They probably will. It seems like anytime you mention Lucy's name, they demonetize you straight away. And, at the end of the day, if I spend time making videos and that, I do want to be monetized because it's time and effort that I take to make the videos. So then for YouTube to just demonetize it, because it's, obviously a sensitive subject about babies, it's demoralizing, when you've spent time and effort. I'm not ashamed of that. That is the way it is. You don't get paid. YouTube is free at the point of, for viewers, it's free. Unless people become a member, or sometimes they'll very kindly they'll buy Ko-fis or send super stickers, PayPal's, etc. But basically, people enjoy YouTube for free, don't they? So but this is time and effort that I put into making videos. So apart from the fact it's upsetting, apart from the fact that people, can be quite sort of aggressive about Lucy's case. It's one of those cases that divides people, and people, say, no, well, what if you're wrong? Well, what if you're wrong? We could all be wrong. But, you get personal attacks over this case as well. So I just want to explain that. So I'm not going into any details about the case at the moment, or the babies, or what happened. That's for Lucy's defence team to sort out. I'm not her defence lawyer. I'm not here to defend her or anyone else. I'm here to present you information. And at the end of the day, must not forget she had her trial. She was found guilty. She's tried twice to appeal and it's been refused. Maybe she'll get an appeal in the end, and maybe she will be exonerated. Good. If she's innocent, that's good. But everybody, we all have our beliefs as to whether we think she is or not. So Lucy Letby's prison life revealed. Killer nurse. Now they're referring to her as a killer nurse. She is guilty. She was found guilty. So until she's found innocent, she is guilty. And that's the system in the UK. And as somebody said in America, when Richard Allen was found guilty, and a lot of people didn't agree with his guilty verdict, what they said was, well, that's our system. That's our justice system. If you don't agree with our justice system, go and live somewhere else. I mean, it is sort of like that, isn't it? You either accept the justice system or you don't. You can't only think you accept it when you agree with it, but you don't accept it when you don't agree with it. Do you accept it or not? I think it's quite difficult to bring people to trial and find them guilty. Anyway, apparently, according to the Daily Mail, remember, this is not me, she whines about her lot. She has guard at all times for her own protection and enjoys a deepening friendship with another of Britain's most notorious child murders. Now, I can see that would why their friendship would develop. because at the end of the day, they're probably both reviled in that prison. But they expect they're not the only child killers in that prison. You know, women do kill their children, their own children, never mind other people's children. Unfortunately, it happens on a regular basis. As much as we don't like to think about it, it does happen. So, notorious serial killer nurse Lucy Letby is reportedly whining in jail, again their words not mine, that a possible retrial would take too long as she sees her life wasting away. Well, yeah. Anyway, the other thing I think we have to remember is she had a trial, she was found guilty, and yeah, maybe she will get another trial and she'll be found innocent. And if she is, she'll get compensation. This is it's unusual, you know, people are sort of bleating on a bit about miscarriages of justice that there have been, and there have been, of course there have, but not, I wouldn't say there's been many recently. But anyway, maybe I'm wrong. You tell me that. But don't attack me, okay? If you want to disagree with what I'm saying, that's fine. But please don't attack me personally, or anybody else who has a different opinion to you. That will not be tolerated. So Letby, 35, was given 15 life sentences. And don't forget, she has been questions about others as well, after being found guilty of the murder of 7 babies and attempting to murder another 8 while she worked at the Countess of Chester Hospital. She is currently serving her sentences out inside HMP Bronzefield, and one of her fellow inmates revealed that the killer was struggling with life behind bars. Now, don't forget, this will be somebody who sold their story to the Daily Mail, so, you know, whether we can take it seriously or not, but as I say, I'm just reading out what I thought was an interesting article, because although I haven't followed Lucy's case that closely, but I did follow Beinash's case closely, and we went through, so that's another case that's always demonetised, but you know what, that was just important to tell Sarah's story, because Sarah was definitely an innocent victim, and you know, but it was the same with that. You know, YouTube doesn't like you talking about child cases. I don't like talking about child cases. It's hard to know how to present them without it being offensive to someone. So this insider, who lives with Letby in House Block 4, described her fellow prisoner. So this, according to this, it's someone who's still in there, as really weird. Now, I'm not saying that Lucy's really weird. I'm saying what this person says, and claimed the baby killer was always accompanied by a prison officer for her own protection and to ensure she does not harm other inmates. To ensure she does not, why would they think she was going to harm other inmates, I wonder? And it's not just the prison experience which is taking its toll on Letby, as the insider claimed the convicted murderer was unhappy at the state of her legal team's efforts to win her the right to appeal her convictions. Yeah, because she's had 2 attempts. Sorry, to me with Lucy, the eyes say everything I need to know. But anyway, there you go. Yeah, she's tried to appeal twice. It's been refused. There's a huge movement behind Lucy. Maybe she will get this right to a new trial. And in a way, I hope she does, because I'd like it to be put to bed once and for all. So despite these reported struggles, Letby has apparently struck up a grim friendship, they referred to it, with another child murderer on the prison wing, Beinash Batul. Ever since she was convicted, a team has been campaigning on Letby's behalf and claimed that the child killer has suffered a grave miscarriage of justice. On Tuesday, this team submitted, remember that, you know, people, I did report on it, talk about the, you know, depends on whether you think this is her defense team. They're not going to put something out and say, oh, yeah, she was guilty, are they? You know, you have to be realistic about that. I always think you can find an expert to prove anything. I think that Lucy was not just convicted on medical evidence. Of course, there were other things. But, you know, I know there's people out there that think that Lucy's innocent, believe she's innocent. And, you know, that is your right to think that, just as I have my right to think maybe she isn't. But there you go. A new trial. The best argument I heard from it was from one of my members who was saying, yeah, maybe a new trial would be good to put this to rest, you know, because otherwise will it always be, you know, will the families every now and again have to go through this all over again? So ever since she was convicted, a team has been campaigning on Letby's behalf and claimed that the child killer has suffered a grave miscarriage of justice. On Tuesday, this team submitted opening medical evidence to that used in court to convict Letby in an attempt to conjure a fresh appeal. So I'm presuming that the Daily Mail believes that she's guilty. So, I mean, it's quite offensive language that they use, saying that she's reportedly whining in jail, that a possible retrial would take too long as she sees her life wasting away. Well, her life is wasting away when she's in jail, but of course, if she's guilty, that's how it should be. Yeah. So these are some photos of Bronzefield. I know it's not the worst place that I've ever seen, to be honest. And this is the lady, Beinash Batul, that reportedly, according to the Daily Mail, she's getting close to. Now, she's probably in a position where, you know, she's persona non grata with a lot of the women in there. Beinash, as a fellow child killer, will probably be the only person that will even speak to her. I wonder if she's going to appeal. Do you think she's innocent? But their efforts have seemingly not impressed Letby, with the insider telling the Mirror, it says the Mirror, this is the Mail. Anyway, it must have been out first in the Mail. She's worried about the time this is all taking. The last trial was 1 year long with 0 defence experts. But now they're going to have these 14 people. How long is the trial going to be? What court is going to be able to manage a year-long trial? Where were these defence experts in the original trial? Meanwhile, she's 35 years old. She's in the prime of her life and her life is wasting away. HMP Bronzefield is infamous for housing some of the UK's most dangerous female prisoners and appears to have brought Letby and Batul together. Batul was handed a life sentence for murdering her daughter, her stepdaughter, Sarah Sharif, alongside her husband, Irfan Sharif, in horrific circumstances. We covered that case in a lot of depth. The insider also revealed that Letby had been tasked with carrying out mundane tasks in her prison wing, which included making toast for everyone at breakfast. Oh my God, hold the phone. What, she had to make toast for everyone? Oh dear, it's terrible. And also take part in completing the block's laundry. Speaking about her attitude towards other prisoners, the Mirror's insider said she's really odd. She's very weird. She doesn't come across as very sympathetic. She's not friendly. She's super shy, actually. But she will help whenever she can. So she starts off on a negative. She gets to a positive. The insider added her belief that Letby is innocent and that she's also suffering from mental health issues whilst behind bars. So that's strange, isn't it? They sort of start it off saying bad things about Lucy, really, and then end up saying, oops, sorry, it's all flickering, saying that this insider thinks she's innocent. Anyway, right, let's see. Yeah, so maybe the Daily Mail is just trying to, I don't know, stir things up. They're trying to promote their own podcast, which we could listen to one day together if you wanted to. Listen to the Mail's #1 true crime podcast. She gets zero mental health support. She's been begging for mental health support and she's getting nothing. However, despite believing in her innocence, Letby's fellow inmate thinks the convicted child killer's quest for appeal will ultimately fail. A public inquiry has also been launched in the wake of Letby's convictions, with police continuing to investigate other baby deaths at the hospital where she worked. Now, this is the thing, there may be more things coming up, more convictions even coming up, mightn't there? I think this is a case that's going to go on and on. Now, something I just noticed when I was coming down there was, this. So I do feel for the families. Let's have a look at this. Distraught mother of a Lucy Letby victim hits out at disrespectful campaign to free her as medical experts trying to overturn the serial killer nurse's sentence claim that they did not find any evidence of any murders. Oh, dear me. So what have they got to say? So, I don't want to talk about the experts who should have come out a long time ago. The parent, who cannot be named for legal reasons, said, "We want to hit back." And the mother of a baby boy who she was convicted of attempting to murder, so hopefully her boy is okay, described the press conference as a publicity stunt. So we must not forget all the different sides of this. It's not all about Lucy. A lot of people think Lucy was a victim of a cover-up by the hospital. But, don't forget the parents in this either. Every aspect of what they're doing is so disrespectful, it is very upsetting. It reminds me a lot of the Richard Allen Delphi case. So many people defending Richard Allen and the family of those two girls who he murdered, had to go through hell, didn't they? So, they said the parents want to know the truth, but we've had the truth. We believe in the British justice system. We believe the jury made the right decision. We already have the truth, and this panel of so-called experts don't speak for us. The mother claimed she had previously emailed Tory MP David Davis, who led the press conference, to complain about his involvement, but he had ignored her. So are we saying that she's a liar, the mother of one of the victims? Tory MP David Davis, what you'll find as well is people will be coming out like him, just trying to jump on the bandwagon. Richard and Judy, oh God, Nadine Dorris, is it? Oh no, for God's sake. Anyway, she accused him of abusing his parliamentary position to push for Letby's freedom. It's outrageous, she said, adding she contacted him after reading an interview he gave in a newspaper last year to express her disgust at his involvement in the case, which she said he didn't understand. Yesterday, the panel suggested they would be happy to speak to the families to discuss their findings. That's good. Hope they all do get together. And talk about it. And if there is good reason for Lucy to appeal, good, then she should appeal. Or maybe a retrial would be a good thing. But this is the way the British justice system works. Like it or not, she's had a trial, she's been found guilty. And for her to be found not guilty, she has to have another trial. But there has to be reasons. I mean, I'm not a legal person. I don't believe for 1 minute that it's in the establishment's interest to find Lucy Letby guilty if she's not guilty. I literally do not think that. I know a lot of people do. That's fine. But please, please, please just understand she was found guilty. These people are coming out now and saying all this. Why didn't they come out and say all that at the time of the trial? It's like muddying the waters, isn't it? It's horrible. And if you were one of the parents, it would be especially horrible. Anyway, she says, according to the Daily Mail, I told him exactly who I was and he didn't respond. The mother added that the way Mr. Davis introduced Dr. Lee as the star of the show and used numbers to identify the children in the case just screamed disrespect. This is not a show. This is our real lives. Well, do you know what? Sometimes I think only Lucy knows the truth, the absolute truth. And if Lucy is not guilty, well, hopefully she'll get her retrial and be found not guilty. If she is guilty, Lucy, whatever happens now, whether she gets released from prison, there'll come a day when she has to face the next world. And then maybe she'll have to face up to the fact that she was guilty. Nobody's saying that Beinash is not guilty, are they? Let's have a look at this video.
Is Lucy Letby innocent? 14 medical experts think so, and they say they've uncovered significant new evidence.
The medical evidence doesn't support murder in any of these babies.
Lucy Letby is serving a whole life prison sentence after being convicted of murdering 7 babies and the attempted murder of 7 more. During the trial, it was claimed that Letby murdered babies by injecting air into their veins. It was a paper by Dr. Shu Lee which formed part of that evidence. Today, he said that prosecutors misinterpreted his paper and, having looked at all of the babies connected to Letby, has now concluded that no murders occurred. He insisted that death by natural causes or bad medical care was far more likely. This new evidence is being sent to Letby's legal team and is likely to form the basis of a submission to the Criminal Cases Review Commission, which investigates potential miscarriages of justice and has the power to send a case back to the appeals court if there is a real possibility that the court will overturn a conviction or reduce a sentence. Lucy Letby maintains her innocence. Now, a new body of evidence by some of the world's leading neonatal experts appears to have put some doubt against her conviction.
So there you go. That's where we are. I just wanted to share that with you. Leave your comments, as I know you will, because everybody seems to have an opinion on this case. I'm not against any comments you want to put. What are you, as long as you're not attacking anybody else, including me. And as I say, some people have said to me, are you open to admit that you're wrong? Yes, of course I am. But are you? Are you too? We can only go, the British justice system, people go to trial and they're either found guilty or not guilty. And Lucy was found guilty. So until an appeal is allowed for whatever reason, we don't know all the full details, of course, either. She wasn't only convicted on the grounds of the medical evidence. She was convicted on there were lots of, it was a long trial. If she gets found innocent, that's a whole different thing. But you have to trust in the system. Because that's the only system we've got. And if you don't trust in the British justice system, well, really, then, it's like either you believe in it or you don't. I think it's quite difficult to bring convictions, especially these kind of convictions. Anyway, let me know what you think or whatever. It will either result in an appeal or not. I personally don't think there will be an appeal because I don't think there's enough. As far as the medical grounds are concerned, I do feel you can find an expert to say anything, really. So I think it's not only the medical evidence, it's the other things around it that have convicted Lucy. But anyway, we'll see. So let me know, as always, what you think, but in a nice way. I'll see you really soon in the next video. And until then, may your God go with you. Thank you.